Hi, I'm Sandy, and welcome to another day in Life with Sandy. Well, good morning. Today is Thursday, April 20th, and we do have some birthdays, but I noticed I got a glare on my glasses. So these are the glasses I chose today because they match. But these, and I never put anti-glare on that. But these I did. So I don't know, do I still have a glare? I think I still do. You let me know. Which ones look better on camera? I don't care, they don't match. I'm not going to be wearing them all day. But the red ones? Or the black ones? I think the red ones glare less. We're going to put the red ones on. I'm not wearing them all day, but for the filming purposes, I'm going to put the first major decision out of the way. Red or black? What do you think? Red or black? Just put in the comments, red or black, and I'll know what you're talking about. Anyway, we do have some birthdays today. Today is Vicki Riggins' birthday. So Vicki, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Vicki. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. We also have another birthday for Stephen Clark. Now, I know you might be wondering because I sang to another Stephen Clark on Tuesday. One Stephen spells it S-T-E-V-E-N, and the other Stephen spells it S-T-E-P-H-E-N. So I'm assuming it's two different Stephens because Clark seems like a pretty common name, I think. But even if it's the same Stephen, I don't know. Why would I have two different spellings in my calendar? I don't know. But anyway, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Stephen. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Well, I hope both of you have a great birthday. And even if it's the same Stephen that I sang to on the other Tuesday, I don't know. But one was S-T-E-V-E-N and one was S-T-E-P-H-E-N. So I don't know. Which one are you? I know one is Debbie Clark's son or brother. I think it's her son. Anyway, I sang to you nonetheless, but we also have an anniversary. It's Prixie and James's anniversary, and I think it's their 25th. Let me know, Prixie, if I'm wrong, or James. I don't know which one. I think it's Prixie that follows my channel. It doesn't matter. It's their anniversary, no matter how many years. Happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary, happy, 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 happy anniversary. Well, I hope you have a great anniversary. 25 years is pretty good. And I'm going to brag a little bit because Jim and I will be married 53 years in July 2nd, 53 years. That time went by fast. It really did. We met in 1967, January 18th, 1967 is when we met. And we've been together ever since. We had a breakup, one little breakup during high school. Was it even during high school? No, it was just before he went into service. We had a little breakup. I think it lasted a week, if that. But then we got back together, and we've been together ever since. We've had our ups and downs. All marriages do. But we rode out the storm. But you know what? If I could find a picture in my photo album that's in my phone, I'll put a picture right here of Jim and I on our wedding day. Oh, to be so young and thin. I don't know that I was so foolish, but I just remember that when we went, when I got married, the day I got married, it was hot. It was 103 degrees. It was like, it was so hot. And the hall wasn't air conditioned, or the church wasn't air conditioned. The hall was air conditioned. The church wasn't air conditioned, but the hall was. Thankfully, because I had a long sleeve dress that I bought in February of the previous year. I had ordered it, or maybe I bought it that same year. I know it was in the winter when I bought it. No wonder I got a discount because it was like they were bringing in the summer and spring fashions, and I was buying the winter fashions. But anyway, but I remember that when I was going out, Mrs. Hubert across the street saw a tiny little tear in my wedding dress, and she said that was not good luck. So she ran home and got her little needle and thread and sewed the little tiny little hole that was so minute that I don't even know how she spotted it. But she was a seamstress by profession, so that's probably why she found it. And I didn't even have to take the dress off. She fixed it while I was standing there, and you really couldn't tell that she fixed it. I mean, First of all, the hole was that small, but also because she was such an excellent seamstress that, her work was like perfection. So, but then when we got in the car to drive over there, my father, as a joke, drove by the church, because even though they never objected to us getting married, they did feel we were too young. I was 20, Jim was 21. He had just gotten out of the service 6 days previous. He didn't have a job. I was working part-time at a little fruit market, and I was going to school full-time in college. So my dad just kind of thought, just thought that we should wait. But, he didn't discourage me, because he knew I was in love. So, But anyway, when we finally got to the church, he did get me to the church on time. Get me to the church on time. Well, he did finally get me to the church on time. When we were standing in the back, just before they started playing the wedding march, he said, "Boy, you got a lot of friends and family here to see you." And I said, "Yeah, it's really touching that I have so many friends and family that want to share this day with me." And he says, "You know what? Look at all these people, and they would completely understand if you really thought at this moment this wasn't the right decision for you. And I don't care how much money I've spent on this wedding. Your happiness means more to me than the amount of money I spend at the reception. We can still go over there and have our dinner because we've already paid for it." He says, "But I want to make sure this is the decision you want." And I said, "Dad, let's just get going. Let's just walk up this aisle." So we did walk up the aisle. And got 53 years later, almost 53 years, we're still together. So, but anyway, I know that I've got a lot of people saying that they have a hard time hearing me in the car. When I wear a microphone, people don't like it when I don't wear, because they say it rub. But when I don't wear a microphone, they say they can't hear me. Sometimes it's hard to get a daily vlog in every single day. I like doing the vlogs, don't get me wrong, I'm not complaining. I do enjoy them. I have a lot of fun doing them. But sometimes my day is just so busy, and it's kind of hard to just sit down like this and get a video in, because I don't want to, first of all, miss anybody's birthday or anniversary. And second of all, I don't want you worrying about me, where did she go? How come she's not here? Is she leaving us or whatever? I know, conceited on my part. I know, I've said this before. But it's anybody that does vlogs can tell you that sometimes just coming up with content every single day is difficult. So a lot of times I have to fit in a video when it's convenient for me. So if you see a car vlog, that means that I really haven't had time that day to sit down and just concentrate on putting out a video, but I still want to get one in. I did get another microphone, because I told you the microphone I had, I lost a little tip to the microphone, and I tried to talk into it and it doesn't work anymore. So I did buy another microphone. If I have to go in the car, I might try it again next time. But for the most part, like I said, if I do a car vlog, I try to talk a little bit louder. I do try to talk a little bit clearer. My car is 13 years old, so it has a 13-year-old noise to it. It's not like smooth, quiet rides like they have nowadays. The roads in my area are not the best. They're just not the best. And they're not like main thoroughfares. There's a couple when I'm on the main thoroughfare, it's better. But like if I'm in my little side streets or side roads, they're the least of Michigan's problems, so worrying about fixing. They're just, like we're on the bottom of the list. Like we're like Cinderella. The three wicked stepsisters get all the roads, get all the better choices, and get the better, which is better. Makes sense because there's more traffic on them. But the roads don't help with the quality of my videos, and I understand that. So I will try to do better. I know that I have a ways to go with that. But I stopped wearing my hats. I don't know why. I just I love wearing a hat, and I think I look pretty good. Not to brag, but I do think I look all right in a hat. I mean, I'm not like a gorgeous drop-dead beauty in a hat, but I think that I wear a hat well. I have a big Irish head, so finding a hat that fits sometimes is a difficult thing. But and I'm not like a hat, like a Easter bonnet kind of hat person, but I like a good baseball cap. So you might see me in some baseball caps with the little microphone clipped on top. We'll see. Another reason I don't like wearing a hat a lot of times is because I get hat hair, and then I gotta wet my hair down and because I got really weird hair. I got really, really weird hair. So what else was I going to talk about? I did make an appointment. I've never gone for a full body, not a scan, or I don't know what you would call it, with a dermatologist, because I do have some moles here on my neck, and I got a couple on my legs that are looking a little suspicious looking for me, and I got moles on my face, and I got all these little white bumps I don't know if you can see them on my, that aren't ever going away. At first I thought they were like little whiteheads, little pimples, but they've been there since Christmas. So I thought, well, so I have an appointment next Tuesday. So I have a dentist appointment at 11, and then I have a dermatologist appointment at 2. So we're going to see what that goes. And then I got this in the mail. I'm not going to show you because it has my address from the government, I guess, for COVID things. I thought that they lifted all the restrictions and everything because I know you don't have to wear a mask. When we went to the foot doctor yesterday, they said that masks were optional. Although when you go to the hospitals, it's still required. And then some doctors' offices, they'll have a sign on the outside of the door, masks required or masks optional. So I don't have a problem putting a mask on. I just have I don't like wearing them all day, like we had to before. So anyway, and Jim's, this was his second opinion for the foot, having the bunion surgery. And both doctors gave him the exact same advice both times. So it was up to Jim to decide. The second doctor was a little bit more honest. I shouldn't say a little bit more honest, but he said with so much malpractice going on, that's why they're a little leery of doing it with people older. So we are not the type that are going to sue. So, unless something drastic happens, like if he loses his foot or something, I don't know. Maybe I don't know then, but we're not people that are going to sue. But talking about that, my godmother, when I was renting my house from the church, came off my porch, and it was really a weird setup because the way you came out the door, if you had to walk straight out the door to go down the step. There was 2 steps to go down the 2 steps, but it was made more sense the way the door opened to go to the side rather than to go forward. And my aunt Agnes, who was my godmother, fell, and she sued me. She sued me. My godmother sued me, and so when I got all the papers and stuff like that, my Uncle Warren, who was my godfather, which was her husband, which he was like a lawsuit. He liked filing lawsuits. But anyway, he says, I'm not suing you. I am suing your landlord because your landlord should have taken care of that because we were renting at the time. He said, but I have to name you as as a defendant? I think a defendant. I don't know. I have to name you because it was your home that we came out of, that your godmother fell in. Now, he never called her my godmother till she fell. She was always your aunt. But anyway, till your godmother fell. So the church did end up settling. It was just like for medical expenses and that. Now, he didn't go like after the church for all kinds of money and stuff like that. But what was nice about it was that they put a railing up. And so they put the railing up, which came to be with my 3 kids sat in the railing, and I got my favorite, all-time favorite picture of my 3 kids together when they were little. So here's a picture of that. It's just my favorite picture. But the way you can see the way the door is, you would have thought you could go either way. Now you got to go straight down, and then there was a little bit of a railing to hold on to. The reason I bring that up is because Tuesday, Denise had come over to drop off Josh's taxes, because I told you Josh had asked me if I would do his taxes, and so Denise was going to drop them off. And with my porch, I have a porch that's made, my actual porch is cement, but the step down is pavers, and then the whole, I have a paver patio in front of my house, and then I got a paver pathway to my driveway. And it's kind of sunk in time. We've had that when we moved in 2006 is when we had it done in 2007, because we moved in November of 2006. In the spring of 2007, we had all the pavers put in. And during time with the rain and the snow and the weather elements and just the fact that the sand shifted and all that, the porch is kind of dipped. And so it is kind of dangerous to go down. I don't go out the front door. My family knows to avoid it. Even Denise will tell you that she always holds on to, I have a little ledge along the side of my house that she always holds on to. And I asked her before, or actually she told me to share it. I was not going to share it because I didn't want to embarrass her. But this is Denise coming out my front door to go home on Tuesday. She's fine. She didn't hurt herself. She kind of wrenched her back a little bit, but she didn't have any bruises or anything like that. So we did call. We got 2 people coming to give us estimates. We had one person we had thought was going to do it, and I kept calling them because they're the ones that originally put our pavers in, and I thought, we'll just have them come back. And I called them yesterday, and I left a message, not snarky, but firm. There's a difference. You can be firm and kind of a little bit snarky at the same time, but get your point across. And I think that's the level I reached yesterday. And then when I didn't hear from them yesterday, we called somebody today that's in our area, and they're coming out on May 2nd to give us an estimate. And they got excellent reviews on Google. I mean, I couldn't find a bad review. I mean, it was just high praise so, which kind of makes me a little suspicious, because sometimes you should at least have 1 or 2 bad reviews, but I don't know. But anyway, so we have them coming out May 2nd. And guess who knocked on our door today to tell us at about time when they're going to come? But he didn't have an exact date. He just said that his nephew is doing it now, because he doesn't do it anymore, because he's more of a professional landscaper now rather than a private landscaper. But since we've been with him since 1986, he kept us on his roster as far as like he does our lawn care, like our opens up our sprinklers and closes them, and opens and closes our lawn sprinklers, does our seeding and fertilizing and anything else that we need as far as that goes, or with our landscaping. So he said that they don't do it anymore, but his nephew does. And so his nephew is supposed to get in contact with us. So we're going to see who gets in contact with us first and who gives us the better price and go from there. But thankfully, Denise was okay. That's thankful. And then yesterday we went out to Longhorn Steakhouse for dinner. Bertie, Ron, Jim, and I went about 3 weeks after they opened. And that place, and this was probably about 6 months ago, that place was bustling. We did a call ahead waiting, and we still had to wait like 15 or 20 minutes when we got there to get a table. Excellent service. The food was excellent. Everything about it was a really great experience. So when it was time for our sibling dinner, it was my turn this month to pick, and I thought, well, why don't we go back to Longhorn? Because I really like their Parmesan crusted baked chicken. And so I said, I want to get that. And so they go, okay, so we'll go there. So we went there, and I realized it was a Wednesday night. So, like when Bertie and Ron and Jim and I went, I think it was a Friday night. So obviously there are more people are going to come on the weekend than that. But I would think that there was only maybe 8 other people in the whole restaurant. And the waitress we got, I think, was brand new, because she screwed up our orders royally. It was like a disaster. It really was such a disaster. I asked for an iced tea and a glass of ice water. Molly asked for a beer and a glass of water. She brought Molly her beer and a glass of water, but it didn't bring me my water. It didn't bring me my tea. So then when I had to remind her, then she did bring me my tea. And then Mike had ordered an appetizer for a dinner. He says, I'm ordering an appetizer, but I want it for a dinner. But she brought it as an appetizer. So he's just sitting there, and we said, just eat it, Mike. It's going to be cold if you wait for our food. And then we're waiting for our salads, and the salads aren't coming. Well, Denise had said that she didn't want to eat her salad there. Could she just get it to go? The very first thing they brought out was the salad to go so in the bag, even before they brought Mike his appetizer. So she had her, I got to get this. I'll be right back. Not that you care, but that was Mary. She can't come tonight because her attorney's got a big trial tomorrow, and she's got to work overtime to get all the stuff prepared for. Mary's a legal secretary, so she can get all that stuff done. She usually works from home, but she had to go into the office today to help them with the preparations for the trial. I'm surprised they're starting a trial on a Friday, really. But anyway, so we didn't get our salads, and then I saw them bring salads out, and they brought it to a table. The waitress takes the orders, but then they have the people from the kitchen bring the food out, and they brought it to another table, and they said something about the salads, and salads, good, they were surprised that they got a salad. And they didn't complain about the dressings that we picked. So when the food finally came out, then Mary ordered a crack of onion soup, which she said that she wanted it to be served as a dinner also. Well, they brought Mike his appetizer, and then a couple minutes later, they brought Mary out her soup, and she took one bite of it, and she says, I can't eat it, it's too salty. And I go, Mary, onion soup is always salty. And she says, no, this is like they poured salt in it. I love salt. Salt and I are like best friends. We shouldn't be best friends, but Salt and I are like together. And I took a spoonful of it, and it was like they poured like the salt into the, and I said, Mary, that's awful. That's just, you need to just send it back. So then she brings out our orders, and she put them down in the wrong places, which was not a big deal. But the waitress actually brought our food out, which I was surprised about that, because usually the server brings it out. And so Mary wouldn't say anything because that's not who she is. And it was like $5.99 for this crock of soup. And I said, she can't, that soup is awful. It's like they poured salt in it. She'd like to take that off her bill because she didn't even eat it. You can see all she did was dip in through the cheese to get to the soup. And so then she said, well, would you like a bowl of soup? And Mary said, well, what kind of soup do you have? And they had like a potato soup. So she says, yeah, I'll switch it for a potato soup. So she did like the potato soup, but she said it wasn't the least bit salty. But then when she's putting our food down, I said, well, we didn't get our salads. And so she said, oh, well, I thought they brought them out. And I said, no. She said, well, I'll go get them now. And I go, no, just put mine to go because I'll just eat it tomorrow for my lunch. And she says, are you sure? And I go, yeah, I'm sure. It's not a big deal. And then Molly said, you can do that for mine too. And then Mary says, yeah, I'll take my salad to go too. So she says, okay. So Denise, when she ordered her salad, she just orders lettuce. That's it, lettuce. I want everything that's in that salad. I want the lettuce, I want the carrots, I want the onions, I want all of that stuff in the tomatoes. I want it all. So then she brings out Mary's salad, not in a to-go thing, but with I ordered honey mustard because they didn't have Thousand Island, which I thought was odd, and they didn't have Italian. They had raspberry vinaigrette, Caesar's, honey mustard, and blue cheese. Those are the only offerings that they had for dressing, and I don't like any of those. So they set the thing down and with Mary, and she says, well, I didn't want honey mustard. I wanted raspberry vinaigrette. And I said, well, that was supposed to be mine. And so she went to bring it to me, and I said, but mine is to go, but I don't want the dressing on it because by the time I eat it tomorrow, it'll be all wet and soggy. So she says, oh, yeah, okay. So then she goes back in the kitchen, and she comes back, and she brings me a plain green leaf salad. That's all I had, just green leaves. No tomatoes, no onions, no eggs, nothing. I thought, okay. So then when the bill finally came, we had asked for separate bills. She gave my brother a separate bill, but then put mine, Mary's, and Denise's all in the same bill. And I said, well, we wanted separate bills. And she said, I heard you say separate bills, but I thought you meant you just wanted them listed separately on the menu, on the receipt. Well, it's going to be listed separate on the receipt anyhow. And it really wasn't because our drinks were listed together. It was like, oh. So then she went and she switched that. So then I said, well, I think that you charged her too much for her soup because I think a bowl of soup is cheaper than a crock of soup. And she said, why? She went and talked to the manager, and the manager, she comes back and she says, no, the manager said they're both the same price. He's not going to change it. I said, okay. So, but the food was delicious. I can't even complain about the food. It was other than the soup being too salty, but my chicken was like cooked to perfection. My potato was really good. I got my crappy little green salad that I'm going to add my own stuff to today for my lunch. And it was just, I had fun with my, well, here's a little clip it's a really quick little clip because they had background music playing and I didn't want to get copyright infringement, but here is Mike and Molly. Molly's Mike's wife, and Mary and Denise and I didn't put myself on it, but here's a little clip of us. So how was your experience, Mike?
Oh, anytime I'm with my sister.
Was it that great?
Not the best.
No. Good food. Yeah, and my brother tipped her like excellently. He gave her like a 25% tip. He says she's new. We could tell she was new, and the mistakes that were being made were not her fault. And I felt that the manager, especially since that place was not that busy, should have come to the table to ask how our experience was. Because anytime I've gone out to eat, the manager, even if you're just started getting your food, always comes over to the table. Well, how is everything working out so far? He never came to our table. He never acknowledged us. And I thought that Mary should have at least gotten her pop for free. She should have at least gotten her pop for free, and they should have charged her the right price for the soup, is my thought. But anyway, babbling on. I told you I had to fit my video. Oh, well, I told you. No, I only, when I'm doing it in the car is when I got to be quick and to the point. When I'm just sitting here, I'm not really quick and to the point, am I? Anyway, but I guess that's going to do it for now. I have to go with Jim. When Jim gets back, he brought Birdie to go pick up her rug. She dropped her rugs off to get cleaned, area, like big area rugs. And so Jim has the truck, and so he went with her to go pick up her rugs. And then we're going to go pick up Alyssa from school. And then we got to go to Best Buy to, Jim wants to get some kind of cleaner for the TV screen because he found out you shouldn't put Windex on the TV screen, which I always thought was odd that he did that, but that's Jim's TV. This is my TV. That's Jim's TV. So I dust mine is all I do with mine, but he gets the whole cleaning thing out for his. But, and then we have family dinner tonight. We're doing Danny's birthday, but Mary's not going to be able to make it. But I'll film whoever we do have. And I'll share that with you, and then I'll come back and close out the video. I know it's going to be a long one today. That's what you get when I'm home and just sitting here. Kind of bored in a way. So, okay. Talk to you guys soon. Well, so much for it being 80 degrees today. It's 57 degrees. I got my winter coat on. But we are on our way to go pick Alyssa up from school, and then we're going to go to Best Buy, see if Jim can find some cleaner for his television screen. I have a coat on, Jim does not. I don't know what the difference, look at him. He's just braving it here, with just a t-shirt on.
We're inside of a vehicle.
Yeah, but what if the vehicle breaks down? You're going to be cold and I'm going to be warm.
No, I'll grab the jacket that I always keep in here.
He was a Boy Scout. He was a leader, actually.
Go figure.
Go figure. Okay, we're getting ready to eat. Getting all the food ready. The kids are here, but we're waiting for Danny because he's the birthday boy. He goes first. Even though Sebastian's his son, he's got to wait.
We all have to. Daniel was
It's
first.
his birthday. It's his day.
Mine's in 19 days, okay?
More than
Then you
19
get to go
days.
first
Oh,
then.
No, it's
May
19.
9th. Yeah, May 9th. Okay.
Mine's in 30.
We'll put you back first in line. Get Oliver and everybody.
I'm right here.
Well, Oliver needs to get in the picture.
Come on,
so.
Oliver. No, wait,
No, Sebastian was first.
I call second.
I made him get in over there.
Where's
I'm
Oliver?
second then.
Your,
I'm second,
your
girls.
candles are gonna melt.
No pushies.
Where's Ollie?
Where's Oliver?
Come on, Oliver. Ollie.
Ollie, action 3.
Let's go.
I'm gonna be done with my biscuit.
Okay, before it melts. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Danny. Happy birthday to you.
Go, go, go.
Ooh.
What the?